welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Greetings to you, fellow Zambian citizens. I'm sure by now you have followed the conversation in Parliament around the proposal by the UPND through the ECZ to amend the Electoral Process Act of 2016. The question I have asked today, was it necessary to amend the law? Yes, it was. But it was only necessary so that to accommodate the mixed proportional representation owing to the constitution having been amended by Bill 7. Today, you have heard how the Electoral Commission of Zambia are attempting, through that amendment, to rape our constitution. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, I know, are being engineered by the UPND to completely alter the Electoral Act, the Electoral Processes Act, in their quest to do schemes meant at eliminating competitors in the race for the August election. All those proposals we've discussed today, the introduction of an adoption certificate, the requirement that the certificate must be signed by a president and secretary general, all those definitions they've put in the constitution, rather in their proposed amendment, are going against what is stipulated in the constitution. When you introduce the adoption certificate as a requirement for one to stand, you go against the constitution. Now, I will tell you, there is no secondary legislation that can cure any lapses in the constitution. As an example, this amendment has tried to change the meaning of a candidate. The UPND rushed Bill 7 and ended up forgetting to include the changes to the definition of a candidate. But this amendment cannot deal with that lapse in the Constitution. They needed to go back to the Constitution and change that definition. I am asking this, perhaps for the last time, where are the men in this country? The men of integrity, the men who stood to defend this country. Where are the women? The women who stood their ground to stop attempts to circumvent or rape the Constitution. Where are those men? Where are the elders in this country? Elders that could run to the president and whisper to him that this route you are taking is dangerous. Where is the church that should visit the president and tell him to stop? Where are the traditional leaders that should go and summon the president and tell him to stop? Mwebe kalachalo, mwebe na Zambia. Ifinde komaila pwefi, I understand the implication. Election is about competing. Ama elections tayaba mingalato. In election, you don't go an extra mile to eliminate competitors. You allow for everyone eligible to participate. You cannot create laws aimed at pushing away or pushing out of the race those you believe should not compete with you. It is a recipe for anarchy. This is how trouble starts in a country, when you allow a clique of people to begin to alter the constitution. Where are you, the men who have stood in the past defending this country? What happened to your voices? What happened to your courage? What happened to your patriotism to defend this country? Where are the women? Where are the voices of the NGOs that used to speak at the third, term attempt? Where are you? The students that rose up against third term. Have we all lost value and purpose to fight for this country? Where are you, Mr. President? What happened to you? This is not the man we knew. We thought you loved this country and could not go the route that you are going through this attempt in the bill that wants to change the way elections are handled. I will say what I have said before in the morning. The conflict you have witnessed or you have seen in other countries, Mozambique, Tanzania, are as a result or were as a result of disputes during elections. Let us not throw away that treasure we have held on to for over 62 years. The democracy that has allowed us to change political parties every other time. Where are you, the men that loved this country, the men that stood shoulder to shoulder defending the peace of this country? Where are you, the women that spoke out whenever a government wanted to do the unwanted? Where are you? What happened to Zambia? What happened to you, the men of honor, the elders, the state councils, the Law Association of Zambia? What happened to you? Where are you? Where are you, the men that would refuse wrong orders or terrible orders given to do something to mutilate the Constitution? Where are those men? Where are those politicians who went into politics to save the country and to save the people? Where are you, the women that went and ventured into this otherwise called dirty politics, but with an intention, a noble agenda or intention to save the country and the people? Where are you? Bamayoba Lumango, I know you are a man, or rather a woman, that loves the Lord. That is if you do. This is your moment. This is your moment to advise your president, your younger brother, to dictate that the right thing is done. Bamayoba Zaromes, Chipenzi, McDonald, bonse mwe bali ku Electoral Commission of Zambia. Ifimule chitefi. I may not be there that day. They will come and haunt you. I will come and remind you if I will be alive. Because amaka ni temporal. Political power is temporal. There will be a day when the citizens of this country will come and remind you that we had told you never to rape the Constitution, but you defied our advice. This is a moment when people that love this country must unite and say no to what is being done by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the UPND through the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I speak not because of politics. I speak because of my love for this country. And I'm asking you this evening, where are you, the men, the women, the youth, the elders, the church leaders, the traditional leaders that at one time stood and said no to the enactment of laws that will set the stage for trouble? May God bless you. Remember, we have an opportunity to do right. It is now or never. The amendments to the Electoral Process Act of 2016, those amendments must not be allowed. The attempt to play and remove or eliminate competitors from the race of the presidential race in 2016 is a recipe for anarchy. Nalabweke shapo. Don't get tired of peace. This peace we have started toiling around was procured at a great price. People died for this peace we are enjoying today. Our forefathers. Don't do anything that will jeopardize this freedom and this peace. Ine inchito yandikumi chitari mind no kumieva uamatwi omfwe. President Church, this is your moment. This is my call to you. It is not too late to act and to act right. You have saved. You can win an election, not at the expense of manipulating the constitution that you swore to defend and protect. To you, the members of parliament, this is your moment, not to tamper with the constitution by enacting laws that will speak or will go against the constitution. The supremacy of the constitution cannot be watered down, not now, not for political expedience. God bless you.
Oh my goodness.